What's up everyone, and thank you for stopping by the channel. Today's project is this Craftsman snowblower, and the problem is it starts and runs, however it doesn't run very well. Let's take a good look at it to find out what's wrong with it, and hopefully we can fix it. In this video, we try and repair this snowblower, however it may not be the exact repair you need to make to yours. We'll explore other options later in the video. Now, in the last video, we got this snowblower running, however, it was surging when the choke was off. Fortunately, though, we were able to find out that the snowblower works fine, we just need to get it running like it's supposed to. Now, when the carburetor was removed for cleaning, we found it was covered in thick varnish that needed to be painstakingly removed. This whole procedure took almost an hour to do, and the most reasonable thing to do would have been to replace the carburetor, but it was worth a shot cleaning it. Unfortunately, I didn't clean it as well as I could have. Now I have to go back and clean the part that I skipped. I do have a plan B, which of course is a new carburetor with extra parts just in case I don't get it working again. Now this kit online was only $20, but since it's out of season it's only $14, so I wish I'd waited about a week. In the kit we get a fuel shutoff valve, a primer bulb, a fuel filter, some paper gaskets, and a no-name spark plug. There's some hose clamps in the box, and of course a brand new carburetor. Now it's a good idea to look over the carburetor to make sure it looks like the one you're going to replace. Now since we have this one available, I'll show you what I missed on the last cleaning. Right below this plastic screw is the jet that I didn't check to see if it was clear or not, so next I'll go through the task of taking all of the plastic panels to get to the carburetor. I have thought about leaving the top cover off, but I'm sure the engineers had a reason for putting it on there in the first place. I'm pretty sure the top plastic cover is to protect the engine from snow, but I just wish they'd made it a lot easier to remove. Now some of the screws were already missing, so I might not remove or loosen the screws that you need to on your machine. Now you don't have to completely remove the cover, you could just swing it out of your way, but to make filming easier, I'll remove the top cover. Once the cover is out of your way, there's still more covers that we need to remove. The next cover is the heat shield, then we can remove the control panel that's holding the carburetor to the engine. Now since I've removed this carburetor once before, taking it off has become much easier than the first time. Just be aware that the first time you do this job, you might have dozens of bolts and screws and several pieces of plastic trim that you have to keep organized. Also, the bolts and screws are all different sizes, so you'll need at least 3 different size sockets as well. Another reason why this engine would be surging while running could be a restricted fuel system. That would include a fuel cap that's not venting properly, or in this case, a badly varnished carburetor that's restricting fuel flow through the needle passage. That was my first theory when I saw how bad this carburetor was, but I got a lot of messages asking me to look at the top jet instead. Now the jet is in a plastic housing that sits on top of the carburetor, but this idle screw is in the way. Unfortunately, it requires a special tool to turn it, but I'll use a flathead screwdriver instead. Now after getting it hot, we can press it into the plastic, then we'll be able to turn it. The first thing I want to do is count how many turns it takes to bottom out. That way I can put it back into its original position when I reinstall it. Once the screw is out of the way, we can then pop the jet's housing out of the top of the carburetor and remove it. So the jet is at the bottom of this plastic piece and it's made out of brass. The hole in the jet is very small and it's hard to tell that it's even clogged. The only way that I could tell that it was clogged was to use one of my tiny drill bits. Now I bought these online for several dollars, and they're also great for upsizing jet sizes as well, which is what we're going to do here. As you can tell, it was clogged and I finally cleared it with one of these smaller drill bits. Next, I'll go up a size and try it again. This time, be very careful and go slowly, as you can easily break the drill bit in the jet. If you do break it, you'll have to remove the jet and replace it. We also want to check and make sure that the passage is clear from the front of the carburetor to where the jet is. As you can see, it's obviously clear, but I'm still going to blow some air in the passageway anyway. After that, I want to replace the jet, replace the idle set screw, and then reinstall the carburetor back on the engine for a test run. I'm not going to completely install the carburetor, so I'm not going to install the fuel line. Instead, I'm going to use this length of fuel hose, which I'll fill with gas. I'm also not going to replace the panel either, so I have to use some spacers so that the nuts will hold the carburetor to the engine. The reason is, just in case there's a problem, I can easily replace the old carburetor with the new one. In the future, I may have to come up with a temporary fuel tank so I can do test runs easier. I'm not aware if they have a funnel this small, but putting fuel in this way is rather tedious. This is also how I test my generator, so I'd have more than one use for it as well. The reason I didn't install the fuel line is that snow season is over, so I want to leave the tank dry until next year. We also didn't test the electric starter last time, so I'll test it now. Now, I wasn't planning on stopping the engine. In fact, I was going to wait till it ran out of gas. However, I was very satisfied that clearing the jet fixed the surging problem, and that I don't need to clean what's left over of the old varnish inside the carburetor. Now that I know the carb works fine, I'll finish the installation and put all the plastics back onto the engine. Now, it's always a good idea to run your engine till it runs out of gas, or open the drain bolt at the bottom of the bowl before you put your snowblower away for the year. In this part of the country, we might get 1 or 2 days of snow, and then a few days later, it'll all be gone. So buying a snowblower is an extreme luxury here, and definitely not worth getting just to do a few hours of work in 1 year. Now, it's rare to see one of these in any of the storage sheds or the garages of the homes around here, so I want to thank Frickworks, who informed me about seeing the snowblower at the curb of a neighborhood he was passing by. I do get asked how I come across some of these curb finds, and one of those ways is word of mouth. The other would, of course, be online listings, but there are so many that don't get posted on the internet, and relying on people passing by to pick them up. I also rerouted the pull rope from being on top of the crossbar, so now it's not riding on it anymore. I also got a chance to look at the owner's manual for this blower, and there's a section called Preparing Engine where it talks about off-season storage, and the number one thing it says to do is remove all fuel from the tank by running the engine till it stops. So more than likely, because of the buildup inside the carburetor, this was overlooked the last time it was used. Since we can get to the drain bolt so easily, that's what I'll be doing instead. So the viewers were right, and I didn't clean the carburetor as completely as I thought, so I want to thank everybody that made a comment asking me to take another look at it. And as far as the new carburetor goes, I'll just hang on to it, and more than likely I'll end up using it sooner than later. So my question is, would you have gone back and tried cleaning the carburetor again, or would you have just replaced it with the new one we'd already ordered? To be honest, I would have just replaced it, but so many people were asking for a second look that I did exactly what they suggested, and they were absolutely right. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time here. Please feel free to ask me any questions, and I hope to see you in the next video.